Hey everybody, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot and welcome to your daily pulls for Saturday the 4th of April. We're going to look at these energies today and we're looking at what's motivating us today, what's challenging us today. We're looking at also at love. Where can we find love? How can we feel love today? And perfect timing, Tiny. And then finally, and first of all, sorry, we're looking at the soul message. Okay, now the soul message is really the karmic message. You know, what should we be learning today? What lessons can we take from today? This is really interesting, actually. We've got the card at the base of the reading, which is the temperance energy. Temperance energy is number 14. That's number 5, and we know and understand with an emotional number 5 card. You know, we know that this is about our engagement with our emotional self, coming into further and further awareness and coming into further and a deeper understanding really of what we're feeling beneath the surface. Now this is something that we may try to force. You know, people might try to force that, and ultimately that's not always something we can do. We want to know that we're okay, we want to be able to comfort ourselves, but sometimes we can't connect that want with the actually ability to actually do that, to actually conjure that self-comfort, to actually conjure that nurturing. Temperance is here to sort of remind us that this is a natural process that we're in, so we're naturally coming to terms with what we're feeling, and this is what you're going to be experiencing today. You're going to be experiencing this energy of coming to terms with what I'm experiencing, coming to terms with what I'm facing, coming to terms with how I'm feeling, and coming to terms with what I'm thinking about. So we look here, and as I said, this is our soul message. We're coming to terms with what we're thinking about here. The sword energy is about our thoughts, our minds, our clarity, our consciousness, our communication, what we say and think and what we allow ourselves to say and think. I'm saying that very quickly, I know, but I spoke about the 7 of Swords yesterday, and I spoke about how we were in the position yesterday, even just one day ago, before the transits of today, the transits on the 4th and the 5th of April. Check out my Instagram post for that. But before those transits, we're in that position where we were not fully able to, and it was right, it was healthy, it was normal, it was natural for us to be in that place, but we were in that normalcy bias, in a state of, you know, everything's fine, everything's going to be all right, and it is going to be all right, and everything is fine. And this is what this is showing you now. It's showing you that you can engage with the emotions of all this. You can start to engage with that, because now mentally you are ready, you are steadied, you are prepared for that now. We're prepared for that information to come through our emotional selves, okay? So next we have the, so we've got number 14, that's 5, that's 6, and we've got 4 here. I saw this before, just when Tiny decided to bark and I had to stop the video. Okay. I've not seen these two though. Anyway, so we've got the Emperor here, number 4. Now, you know, this is 2020. The date today is 444. It's a year of the number 4. You can check out the video about the year of the number 4 and what that means, which I recorded back in December. You can check that out in the Key Wisdom playlist. Number 4 is related to the structures in our lives, the foundations in our lives, the things that we build on. In astrology, it's related to our roots, where we come from, our DNA. It's almost like with number 4 that there's almost like a legacy that we are, that exists before we arrive here, and that is played out in our lifetimes, and that is played out emotionally, and it's played out energetically, and it's played out in very real ways, like you see, that's like we see across the world what's going on now. The Emperor is ultimately about strength, but the Emperor's strength comes from engaging with the roots, engaging with where I come from, engaging with why I feel the way I do, engaging with why I am the way I am. That's what the Emperor comes from. So this is what your motivating message is today. You need to be thinking about today that what's motivating us is we're strong, but where does that strength come from? Where does my strength come from? That's what the message is for us today, to motivate us. Where can I find my strength? Because it's there, it exists. And the Emperor has to engage with those foundations, has to engage with what that strength is built on. And that's where we're at. Remember, we're coming into this awareness now emotionally, in our emotional bodies, but also in our mental self. And this is the practical divine masculine ego side of ourselves. This is a side of ourselves that takes actions, that takes stock, that looks at things, that assesses things. This is that side of us. So today what's motivating us is I am strong. I know I am strong. I feel strong. Or how can I feel strong? How can I engage with that strength? Because it's there, it exists. And this is a reminder of that, okay? So it's active with it being masculine. So it's about us looking for those areas today, looking for the strength in our life, looking for the things that help us to feel strong, and connecting with those things and reminding ourselves of those things. But this is what's challenging us. I've not seen this card, so let's have a look what's challenging us. Now, you know, we have this energy of the Knight of Swords. Knights, all the kings, the queens, the knights, the pages, they all indicate change. The rungs of a ladder, if you will, of maturity in different aspects of our, in this case, thinking, in this case, of our awareness. So this is us, you know, we're gaining more awareness, we're engaging more with our emotional selves, we are thinking more clearly, we are thinking more practically about our emotions as well, and about the impact that's going on, and about our strength, and about where that comes from, and about why we can feel strong, and why we should feel strong, and why we should feel confident. We're engaging with that, and you can hear the speed that I'm talking at, because that's what this energy kind of feels like, and that's what's challenging us today. We get that spark where today we start, it hits us, it hits me today. All right, I get it, I understand the impact it's having, I understand the impact that this whole situation is having on me right now. I'm getting that. I'm coming to terms with that today. And what happens is, and we're maturing, and we're starting to engage more with that idea, and with those emotions, and with our strength, etc. But what's the challenge is the speed at which we want to fix it, the speed at which we want to be right, I'm fine now. The speed at which we want to be at, like, yeah, okay, I know where I'm going, I'm all right, I'm happy, I'm sorted, I'm fine. This is a process. This is what we need to remind ourselves always with temperance. There's a video in the Key Wisdom playlist also about temperance, and I urge you to watch it. This is a card. I talk about being sober with this energy, you know, sobering up. And what I mean by that is that those type of realizations that we have, we have to invest. We have to continue to invest in coming into that awareness and that healing. And what that means is we can't force ourselves through. We ain't at the Seven of Swords today, people, because we've been there, we've done that, we've had that conversation already. We're in that space now where it's about listening, it's about responding, it's about understanding, it's about reflecting. This is where we're at now, and it's that energy that's going to shore us up. So you don't have to rush, you don't have to be there now. Today is just one step, that's all. Just one step, just for today. We just have to not be angry. Just for today, we just have to not worry. And you can do that today. Today you can engage further with that healing. The challenge is at the speed at which things might, this awareness might come to you, the emotions might hit you. But remember, even the emotions hitting you, or us coming into these realizations, ultimately what they're showing, what's motivating us, the strength and the confidence that comes from being able to not necessarily withstand what we're going through, but just to acknowledge, to accept, to engage, to reflect on how you're responding to what we're going through. And that's where we're at. So that's just a challenge. So just be mindful of that today. And then finally, we've got the love message. Now, I wanted to do this because I thought it's always, regardless whether you're, and I know there's my viewers out there who started seeing somebody just before lockdown, and now they're separate and they can't see, you know, but I also obviously know of people who are married or in relationships or whatever, you know, or single, or in all situations. But ultimately, there's whatever your situation is currently now, as you sit listening to this video, we are all in a space, every single day where we can find love, where we can feel love. So what area, what space, what person, where can we find love? And we've got the Magician energy. So what does this, look how much control we have. Now the interesting thing is there's a balance today with our divine masculine and our divine feminine, and that's just further highlighted by this energy here. But also remember I said, oh, I didn't say that in this energy, right? I should have said, you know, we've got, this is number 6 here, it's linked to the Lovers energy, isn't it? And that is about that acceptance, that compassionate acceptance of both sides of ourselves. That's what the Lovers means to you as an individual. And obviously if it's about another, you and another person, it's about that compassionate acceptance of who they are. You accept each other, and that's what helps you to both grow and mature and blossom as an individual and as a couple. And this is where we have now, so there's this balance, this acceptance of, I want to, you know, I'm understanding now. I recognize how this has affected me. I recognize how I can move forward through this. You know, I'm starting to identify what's making me, you know, where I can find my strength. I'm starting to engage with the emotional impact of what I'm experiencing, and I'm starting to process that. And that's beautiful, and that's practical, and that's divine masculine. But there's also this divine feminine aspect of ourselves. And I just want to bring us back to that emotion, and that we only have to move, we only have to do when it feels right, when we feel, so we only have to face up to it, we only have to engage with those emotions when it feels right. We don't have to force ourselves. So you may go to sleep, you may have gone to sleep last night and had some interesting dreams, or had just slept heavily, you know, that's the energy that's about now. So you're feeling your emotional self and your emotional body, your feminine, divine feminine, and that sort of energy that you bring into the day, you're engaging with it, which is beautiful. But always remember that there is no rush. You know, there's no rush. Okay, you don't have to be there now. Okay, it's just for today, don't worry. Okay, just for today, be compassionate toward yourself. That's it. Tomorrow we'll do another daily pulse and we'll talk about what you do then, but just for today, don't worry. Okay, so love, where can we find love? How can we feel love? And this is in your divine masculine. It's in what you're doing, isn't it? It's in you taking control. It's in you taking action. It's in you applying your, not only your divine masculine, your wisdom, which is gained through your experiences in life, but also by engaging with your divine feminine here. So the Magician has all aspects of self covered, you know, in control and in charge of all aspects of self. And this is where you're at today. This is where we can be at today. And that's when you have this type of energy, you know, it's a number 1, first of all. Number 1's this initiation, this start, this beginning, and this new, this fresh feeling, this fresh energy. That's always what a number 1 represents, whatever the suit it is. And in this instance, with it being Magician, it's almost as if your divine masculine is reawakened. It's almost as if your action, you're wanting to create, you're wanting to make better, you're wanting to do is activated almost today. And you know, and it's this, maybe this energy of wanting, this energy of wanting to reach out, of wanting to do, of wanting to create, means that you are more trying to reach out to people more, or you're trying to, you know, engage more with others. You're trying to create something, though. You're trying to it's in what you're trying to create, it's in what you're trying to build, it's in what you're trying to make happen, where love is found. And that's love of self ultimately. And maybe obviously with a partner as well, or in a relationship, you know, the actions that you're taking, you're trying to build something, you're trying to create something, you're trying to make something out of this situation that you're in. You understand, it's those realizations of, you know, this is what I can control, this is what I can affect, and so I can't do anything about all that. I can't do anything about all this. I can do this, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's as if you kind of have that renewed, you know, impetus today. And that's where you start to feel love. You can start to feel more connected to your emotional self, as well as your divine masculine. We have the energy of karma here. We have the energy of of cycles and of this is about you using the wisdom, applying the knowledge that you've gained in your life. So it's looking like an interesting day for everyone. Okay, so quickly now I'm just gonna pick one card for each of the signs. Okay, I'm gonna start with earth, just because I'll do earth, fire and water. So I'll just start Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, etc, etc. Oh gosh, look at that. That's my card, isn't it? Tarot read this card. Okay, so think about a question that you want to know, you want to ask. You know, what do you want to, is there a question you want to know, a yes or no answer to? Is there something you want to know? I'll tell you what the energy means, and then you can just apply it to your life. Okay, we're starting with Taurus. This is you, Taurus. Whoa, Taurus, 10 of Pentacles. So if you've been worrying about money, if you've been worried about finances, you know, this is obviously an indication of abundance, isn't it? This is obviously an indication of not just that you're going to get the abundance, but that you've already earned it. It's already in the bank. You've already banked it, Taurus. So I don't know why you're worrying. Yeah, I don't know why you're worrying, Taurus, because it's already been banked. Yeah, the finances that you want, or what it is you're trying to create. Remember, Pentacles energy is about where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest our security. So this is about your security being banked. Okay, you having security, real life security. So maybe you're missing that somewhere, somehow. So you know, today, remember, when we're shifting, we're moving, our minds are changing, our awareness is growing. So that's something that you can try to engage with today. Okay, it's earth energy, as you know. It's linked to your sign. Okay, that's Taurus. Oh, it's a yes. So if it's a yes or no answer, that's a yes. Okay, so Taurus. Now let's look at Virgo. Just a card for Virgo. Oh, Virgo. Why do you always have to be so, you know, Virgo with the detail? We've got justice. There's two for Virgo. We've got justice and we've got the 8 of swords. So interestingly, both sword energies. We've got 1-1 and we've got, so look at this. We're coming to the end of this anyway. Balance is being restored. That's what this energy talks about. It talks about balance in your mind. So you have obviously been in this situation. This is what's underlying. So for you, what's been going on actually, Virgo, is you've not actually, like I said yesterday, 7 of swords. We've all been there. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. We've all been in that place where we've been like, not been it. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Now that balance is being restored. So if that's been something that's been plaguing you, you've been worried that you've been, oh, Tiny's here. And when Tiny comes, you know that the message, you've got to listen to the message. Good boy, Tiny. Tiny's here. Look at that. Go on, Tiny. So what we're saying to Virgo, yeah, we're telling Virgo, aren't we, Tiny? We're telling Virgo that there's no need for you to worry. You're not being overly anxious, you're not being overly paranoid, there's nothing wrong with you, if that makes sense. I know that some of you might be thinking, God, you know, this is really hitting me a bit hard, like maybe I'm not really, maybe sleeping too much, or I'm worrying too much, or I'm stressing too much, or whatever, I'm drinking too much, I don't know. You're not doing anything wrong. That's just how you're responding. So don't question or judge that. Listen, don't worry about that. That's not what you have to worry about today. You don't have to worry about your responses. And clearly balance is being restored mentally for you. These are about your mind. Remember, your conscious mind and your awareness. And this is about the balance of that, the balance of your mind coming back. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then we'll go on to Cappies. Shout out to the Capricorns. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Fellow Cappies, love you all. Oh, it's here. Oh, I don't know, Capricorn. I do, man. I can feel it, man. I could feel, even Tiny's done one. Yeah, I could feel it. You know, this is, I always say to you guys, I talked about this card yesterday in the Daily Pulse yesterday. I talked about this being a sudden shock, a change of events, that we know what this card means, the shifting of our foundations. It's a number 7, my master number, as you know. That's a number of mystery. That's a number of questions. Why is this happening? Why do I feel so unstable? Why is this making me feel unstabilized? If it was a yes, oh, excuse me, sorry. If the last people, Virgo, yours was a yes for the with the justice card, it's a yes. What it's a situation you've been worrying about, Virgo. You've been worrying about that situation, Virgo. Clearly, whatever the situation is, you've been stressing about, but you don't have to worry anymore. That you don't have to stress about it anymore. That's what that card means. Okay, so Capricorn, this is like a hell yeah. That's what this is. You know, this is the shock. the destabilizing effect of what's been going on. I felt this, and personally for myself, and I always, when I've experienced this card in meditation, it feels very similar to the Ace of Cups to me when I experience the energy physically, and that can, it's kind of the emotions can be quite overwhelming, really. And I've been here. We've seen this card a couple of times, Capricorn, haven't we, in our readings? And this is something that I've really struggled to engage with, like how this is really affecting me. But as we know, tomorrow, or today, I should say, I'm filming this. In fact, it's the morning. So yeah. Anyway, so today, this is where we're at. We're in this place where we're trying to engage further with the destabilizing effect that's happened because of corona. I'll say the word. So and the destabilizing that you have felt. You're allowed to feel overwhelmed. You're allowed to feel anxious. You're allowed to respond however you respond naturally. You're allowed to do that. All we ask with the Tower is that we engage with it, and we also notice and recognize that this is a blessing. This is something that's actually going to strengthen us ultimately. Okay. So next we move on to, I said Earth. Next. Did I say Earth? Anyway, we're going to now, so we're going to Gemini. See, I want to pull that one, but I think it's this one. So I'm pulling this one, Gemini, for you, Gemini. So we've got lots of yeses. This is the Divine Feminine card of the Queen of Pentacles. This is you showing appreciation for showing appreciation for self, or there's something there. So if you're thinking about, is it real with this person? Does this person really love me? Does this person really like me, even though they're separate from me? This is a yes. There is really something there between you two that can be nurtured. There's something that you want to nurture anyway, whatever that is for you. And this is the energy of you understand that now, and you're growing in that want, in that motivation to actually start to bring whatever this is into fruition. So that's where you're at today. Libra, that just fell out, but I'm just going to keep shuffling because Libra. It's a couple for you, Libra. Wow, look at that Ace of Pentacles, Libra. So this is obviously a resounding yes, and not only is this a resounding yes, it's a gift from the universe. You know what it is? It's nice to see lots of Pentacles energies, because this is showing that real shifts for us. This is showing manifested shifts, manifested differences, things that we can see in our life that really have changed and that really are different. We've got the Pentacles energy again, where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest security. So it's about our security, it's about your security. This is potentially about something being offered that can provide you with that security, something that you maybe, an opportunity that you want to take on or take up, that's going to provide you with a sense of security. Yes, with a sense of security, but also with something real, like I feel like a transaction is going to happen actually for some of you, like an actual transaction, like money is going to exchange hands. A purchase of something, potentially something that you've been wanting to purchase for some time, or it's a transaction. So something, what a transaction is, someone pays you and you give them something, or vice versa. I feel like a transaction is coming for some of you, Libra, so I don't know what that means, but you do. Okay, and it's a yes as well. Libra, Aquarius. Oh, what an interesting day. I found out that I'm a Aquarius moon as well, which is actually quite an interesting development for me, considering I am a Capricorn. This is you on the bottom, Aquarius, so you are the Hermit today. This is where we should be. I mean, we are all inside anyway, as we all know, a lot of us are, but this is really you actively engaging with what's going on within. This is what this card is linked to Virgo. Actually, it's linked to the earth sign Virgo. So when we see the Hermit, though, we know it's about deep-rooted stuff. It's about stuff that's real, that's a part of your life that you want to reflect on. So what I mean by that is it could be things that are long-standing ideas, or perspectives, or point of view, or a way of a part of your identity, almost. It's as if these things that become a part of you, those are the things that you're going to be looking at today. Something about how it's about how you're handling it. Actually, it's Aquarius, it's about how you're handling something. Maybe it's a relationship, or I don't know, work, or the whole situation, what's going on in the world right now. It's how you're handling it. You're sort of reflective about how you're handling things. Remember the shift that's happened for you, Aquarius, over 2019. You know that if you've watched my readings, you know what it was like, and the difference and the shifts that have been going on for you guys emotionally and in your divine feminine self. You know, Aquarius, you know, you're being called. You know, it's year 2020. You're being called. You are changing. You are shifting energetically. You're engaging more with your emotions, and even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, it doesn't seem to make you feel uncomfortable today. You're actively going within to understand today things that have been long held and long standing about your identity. Okay, so that is 6. So we're halfway through. So who else is next? So we've got what? Hang on, Earth, fire. Oh gosh, wow. Fire. I'm gonna fire. So we'll go with, I was gonna say Aries, and Aries card fell out. Aries wanted their message, man. Aries. I usually read Aries first when I'm recording. Bloody hell, Aries, fire, 7, another 7. There's 2 for you. There's this one as well, Aries. You've got the 7 of Wands here. 7 is the number of mystery, as we know. It's the number of asking questions. It's the number of why. What do I want? What do I need? In this instance, what am I feeling? What's motivating me? What do I want to go after? What do I want to do? What do I stand for? This is that energy. So this is the type of thing that you are considering today. Now, some of you are in a situation where you are not happy with somebody that you live with, or you are not happy with your partner, you're not happy with a romantic, I feel like I don't necessarily feel like it's a family member. You know, you could be in self-isolation actually, but I definitely see that there's some sort of, you're at odds with somebody, or with somebody in your life, or with, I know that sounds very vague, but it's like you're at odds with them. It's like you're on different pages almost. It's like you're saying, I don't know, you're saying one thing and you are totally committed to what you're saying, and you're totally committed to what you think, and you're totally committed to what you feel, and so you should be. But the thing that you're saying, the other person is saying the exact opposite of you, but they are as committed to that way of thinking as well. And it's not that either of you are wrong. Neither of you are necessarily wrong. It's about, you've got to, I'm interested to see what this card is, because really there's a sense of this needs to be opened up. You both need to receive, and it might be that there's a combustible sort of event, argument, or something. I don't know what this card is. Combustible event or something that forces you to actually confront, you know, what the issue actually is. Let's look at this card here. So this is, you know, speaking clearly, basically, or wanting to speak clearly, or thinking clearly, because it's the feminine aspect. The feminine aspect is about the understanding what's within. It's not necessarily about the actions that we take. It's about what we're feeling within. So this is maybe you trying to come to terms with, trying to work out, you know, I'm feeling this way, you know, am I thinking this way? You know, is this making sense to me? You know, is this the right thing to do? So it's, again, it's, you're being reflective, but you're also standing your ground today. I feel a shift coming in on Sunday. So maybe by Sunday, you know, you can have a conversation with this person, you can speak about it, but it's really not the time to actually talk about it or confront the situation today. It's not the time, Aries. I feel like that's coming though very soon tomorrow. I feel like the floodgates are going to open tomorrow, but it's not the time today to talk about it, okay? Or to confront it. It's not the time to confront it today. You do what you need to deal with, let them deal with what they need to deal with, and then you can come together in another day or two. Okay, Aries, Leo, mummy. My mummy's a Leo. Saw my mummy for the first time on FaceTime, like, you know, a lot of you guys, you'll listen, my mum's like, she's going to be on WhatsApp. We've been trying to get her to download WhatsApp. Anyway, she's got it now. Leo, I feel like there's 2 for you again. Good New World. I feel like the card at the bottom's for you as well, but it's the Empress, so we've already seen that card. You've got the World card. So it's good to see this card, actually, for you guys. This is... it is a new world, isn't it? Blimey, what are we talking about? This is about the end of a cycle again. So I think that here, when we're being drawn back to the Emperor here as well, I feel like yes is the answer to the question. It's number 21, so it's number 3. You might be feeling a bit tired today. You might be feeling a bit you might be feeling like you've run a bit of a marathon, even though none of us have. But you may be feeling a bit like that, but that's because you're just coming it's you're just coming around to everything. You're coming, things are sinking in for you. I hope this is what my mum's having, because for her, she, she's just very jolly on the phone. She's very funny. She's just like laughing, and I'm like, Mum, like, you've got to stay in your house, and she's is doing all that, but So maybe this is what you're going to be facing some of this. My brother is also a Leo, and he went to visit my mum, but he's got one of those. He's a key worker anyway. He's a key worker. So he's got one of these badges, and he goes around delivering blooming, prescriptions. Anyway, no, I digress. Basically, this is coming to terms with, I think the reality of what you're going, what you're facing and what you're going through. You feel a bit tired today, but that's okay, because actually you're strengthening. You're strengthening today. You're starting to connect with your strength a bit more, and realizing that you are more resilient really than you probably give yourself credit for. Okay. And then finally, Aries, Leo, then Sagittarius. There's this one, Sagittarius. You've got the judgment energy here. This is a revelation, information, coming into awareness that completely shifts or changes your perspective, your point of view about something. This is a very moving day for you, actually, Sagittarius. You also might be feeling a little bit sort of heavy, energy wise, but again, it's what do I always say? After 3, 1, 2, 3. If you don't know, you can't grow. The only thing about judgment is, the world card comes after judgment, and as I said, it's like you've run a marathon. It's in a way similar to Tower, actually, in the Ace of Cups, in that it can be overwhelming for us to sort of feel it like that, or to face up to things like that. But it really is. It really does help to propel us forward, that knowledge, that coming into that type of awareness. So you might feel a bit exposed, you may feel a little bit vulnerable today, but ultimately, again, this is about, we're finishing off this cycle now, we're moving into new energy, and you will definitely come the 5th, come the 6th, you'll definitely feel a lot more strengthened, and you'll be off like the Fool. Okay, so don't worry and do not despair. This is a I suppose the answer is you're going to find out. You're going to know one way or the other. That's what this is. And whatever the answer is, whatever the answer you want to hear, you're going to get the truth. That's what that's what this card represents, basically. Okay, so next, finally, Cancer, Pisces, wants to be next. Pisces, you always want to. Pisces, you've got this on the bottom. Again, Emperor, again on the bottom. Trying to remind you of your strength. Trying to remind you of your confidence. Trying to remind you of that. You've got that on the bottom. Now, we've got the 9 of Cups here. Your energy, Cups energy, all about your emotional self. You're, again, engaging with that, but not really wanting to. There's a sense here of always a sense of knowing what we want, knowing what will make us happy, knowing what we want to do, and not moving toward it, not going toward it. And that's because you question your strength, you question your ability to be able to make this happen, to be able to bring this situation, whatever it is for you, into fruition. Whether that's just being able to talk more openly with your partner, or with your parents, or with whoever, or whether that's about a business, or whether that's about I don't know, reading tarot, I don't know, whatever it is for you. It's a sense of, and I don't want you to sort of worry or panic about it, because as I said, we know the energy of temperance is prevailing for us today. So we know that that's about, we only move when we feel ready to move. But if I engage with that, what is it that I want to do? Because I feel like it is, I know what I want to do, and what is it that's stopping me? And I think if you reflect on this energy here about your strength, about what makes you who you are, what makes you think who you are, what makes you act the way you do, if you can reflect on those 2 things today, I really think you'll have some breakthroughs, Pisces. Okay, Cancer, we're going to go for you next. Okay, that's a yes as well, for you. The answer for you, Pisces, is yes, but as soon as you want to, you can have it. But it's you obviously wanting to. This is Cancer. Four of Swords. So, you know, we're not surprised when we see energies like this. We're not surprised when we see energies like this at this time of year. It's 444, so you've got another four. So it's 4444 for you. 44444. I'm gonna look that up for you actually. Four fours. That's a lot of fours. That's four fours. That's a master number, first of all. That's a master number. So you're blessed today, you know, Cancer. You're blessed today. You're blessed today for some. Let's have a look. You know, you're going to be having breakthroughs. You're going to be having this type of coming into this awareness, which is all good, as we know. Just a second, I'm trying to find. I don't know where it is. Oh, come on, because I like, people like to know the. Hang on, I don't know where it is. I can't find it. I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. 4. I can see every other number except 4. Peace, quiet, and rest. Okay, so we. Well, that was like pointless, wasn't it? It took me 3 minutes to find that. That's what this card means anyway, babe. Peace, quiet, and rest. I mean, basically, this is what it is. And remember, that's it. We've been stressing, maybe, or we've not been engaging with our minds, what we've been going through. But this is us engaging with that, our mental foundations, our mental constructs, our conscious constructs right now. This is you taking time out to engage with that. So maybe joining in the mass meditation that's going on, or meditating for yourself, or just having some peace and quiet in the garden, or a book in the corner of the house. You know, you are contemplative. And again, this is why I'm not doing individual readings for all the signs, because it's pretty pointless, because the energy is pretty much the same for a lot of us right now. We're all going through the same thing. It's an unprecedented time, but you know, really, you know, this is really just confirmation for you that this is where you're at today. I definitely recommend you watch the 444 video in my Key Wisdom playlist for more info on that. Okay, finally, Scorpio, and then I can actually go to bed. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio. Every time I do Scorpio's reading, I do that. I don't know why. Before I start recording, I always do that. You've got 2 cards, Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio. So what does this mean? This is similar in a way to the other reading that we did where we had the two cards just earlier. And I said, you know, to Virgo, you know, you've been worrying about something for so long, and you know, it's now going to happen. You don't have to stress about it anymore. You don't have to worry about your mental health. You're fine. You're okay. I'm not a doctor, so obviously if you are struggling like that, obviously do the thing, go to the doctors, ring the doctors, all that stuff. Anyway, this is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is like, you have been worrying about something. You've been worrying about this. Wow. See, you don't need to worry about it anymore. I mean, I don't really need to tell you. You know what you've been going through. Blimey. You know, the good thing is, though, what it is when we see the 9 of Wands. We've had a lot of 9s today, haven't we? When we see the 9 of Wands, wand energy, we know is about our life force, your chi, your key. And number 9, again, about going within, understanding what's going on, understanding what I'm feeling, understanding how I'm reacting. This is your instinct. This is your, you might have been feeling nervous. You might have been feeling, and I don't want to say anxious, because that's not really quite the right word. Tense. You know, I'm talking physically in the body. You know, you would have been feeling the physical sort of strain, You've been putting yourself under strain. And maybe because we were all in 7 of Swords, you know, maybe you didn't really realize that you were putting yourself under physical strain. So, you know, you weren't resting enough, you weren't looking after yourself enough, you weren't doing something enough, and you didn't really allow your mind consciously to go there. Now today, you allow your mind consciously to go there. You allow yourself to engage with physically, how you're physically responding to what's going on for you today. This is really good, and it because again, we're feeling vulnerable, but we're feeling exposed really today. A lot of us, but I always say, as you know, after 3, if you don't know, you can't grow, and that is something that we don't rush. We don't judge ourselves for not knowing. We don't judge ourselves for not being able to do this yesterday, because we only have to do this for today. We only have to do yesterday. Yesterday is gone now. Today we're coming into that awareness. This is a change and a shift coming. And I actually feel as well like you might have a boost in some way, as in like, so you feel, you know, you start to engage with that and you start to notice the strain that you've been physically, the physical strain that you've been under. But it's as if, I don't know, like it's like, I don't know, this, I feel like a gift or a blessing or a a synchronicity of some sort that might come your way. You might see a feather or a coin or hear a song that reminds you, and it's something like that. There's a moment of synchronicity that actually, it kind of helps to bring you back. It helps to bring you into your body. It helps to ground you almost. It helps you to notice, what you're feeling, what you've been experiencing. We've got 9, 10. So again, we've got this progress, we've got this movement, and we've got 10 again here, and just underneath, you've got 3 cards, mate. 10 here, the 10 of cups. So I do feel like you may be getting a gift from the universe, or a real life gift from somebody. You know, someone might give you a generous gift, or something lucky or auspicious is going to happen, and you've been under the strain for quite a long time, and now that strain is lifting and it's over, and so it's a resounding yes for you guys. Okay, my darlings, I hope you like that reading. I'll be back very, very soon with your brand new daily pulse, and also your love on lockdown reading when Temperance tells me that it's time. Okay, so my darlings, have a wonderful day, and you know, stay motivated, and I will see you all again very soon with your brand new readings. Take care, my darlings. Bye.